is supposed to play in. Come off the bench early in the second period, try to make it go over, rush for over 100 yards, scored the winning touchdown. Looked like they're helping him off the field. Could be that knee again.
Yeah, he's not going off under his own power. That's not a good sign for him. Got to feel bad. And looks like it's his left knee that's giving him the problems. Is that the one that was bothering him?
That's the one that's been bothering him all year. But listen, he's done a day's work already.
Yeah.
He's over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. So.
And he gets a big hand from the crowd here at Kelleher Field. Actually, Chris Christo, another Marlboro player, he's out of the game. He's got a bum knee. He hurt it in the Milford game. He's sort of hobbling along, number 73. Not going to need surgery. Sincata going back to pass, something he hasn't done. Oh, and that's a great catch right there by T.J. Rake.
T.J. Rake, probably one of Marlboro's finest receivers, if not the finest, especially in traffic. A great athlete. Chris Christo, you're talking about, boy, you heard, done a great job at defensive tackle from Marlboro High. His father, Rick Christo, played back for Frank Kronoff in the 60s. A lot of tradition in that family for football.
And after a 15-yard completion, brings up about a 3rd and 5 on that. And that's Shane Gilliott. Let's see who they ran in to take Podlesny's place. It looks like number 40, Larry Moulton.
Now, Marlboro has a lot of depth at running back. If that's one position they have strength, that's at running back. Larry Moulton comes in, does a nice job. Just Shane Gilliott, great back. T.J. Rake, another outstanding runner.
And it's just going to be over the inside. Gets stacked up by Hudson. Gilliott didn't go too far. Hudson looking a little bit more aggressive on defense, certainly on the inside.
Well, they're running that stunt now. Marlboro ran right into the stunt. They bring in at least one backer all the time. That time they bring 2 backers. Marlboro ran right into it.
And Derek Catronbone with the tackle on that. And Hudson takes over on down. So there, with 1 minute and 10 left in the first quarter, they're down 20-0, but they're certainly not giving up yet, as you can see on a big 4th down play. The D comes up strong. That's going to be a little bit of a morale booster for these guys. I mean, it just shows that Marlboro isn't going to score at will on them all day.
Well, no, Hudson's hitting, and they'll continue to hit. That's this rivalry brings that out. You won't see anybody laying down today.
And Hudson comes out of the eye now, too. Gould is the fullback, and they're just going to go off tackle right, and not too much for Roan as he gets stacked up.
Hudson doing a little searching, little different offensive looks, trying to find something they can get to work, probably sustain some type of drive.
J.J. Donahue at the tackle. That's his 3rd today so far that I've noticed anyway. And Dutch Holland says he gets at it.
J.J.'s an outstanding linebacker, absolutely outstanding. Reads good, fills the hole, gets back in the pass coverage.
And they're just going to try to pitch left. And nothing doing for Jay Roan on that side, boy. Cotton.
No, that's, I think, Hudson's 3rd attempt to run wide. Actually, 4th if you count the option. Really haven't had any luck out there. They've had good luck on that wing T reverse with the tailback, the wingback handing the tailback. Might have to come back to that play.
Okay, and that brings up a 3rd and 10 now. If Hudson can establish a little bit of continuity on the offensive side of the ball, they just had that big defensive series. And that's the end of the first quarter. So the 91st Thanksgiving Day Classic is 1 quarter in the bag, and Marlboro is up 20-0 over the Hudson Hawks.
Well, Glenn, I don't think anybody here, especially me, expected this fireworks this early in the football game.
Yeah, really. I mean, we had the opening kickoff taken for a touchdown, and then Hudson almost did the same. Then Marlboro took over in their second play from scrimmage. They got a touchdown, and just moving right along. And hopefully we can get some sort of word on Lance Podlesny. He went off with looks like some sort of a knee injury to his left leg.
You know, Marlboro this year has had some great kickoff returns. 10 days ago against Milford, Rick Sincata brought the second half of the second period kickoff back, some 65 yards for a touchdown. And Marlboro has a great return game, and they have under Dutch Holland. Dutch spends a lot of time on special teams, and it's shown the effects of it over the last couple of years, especially the last 2 weeks. Got them off to a good start today.
I mean, Marlboro enters this game 4-5. You have to keep in mind some of the teams they play. I mean, they play North Middlesex. That's a team that beat Brockton this year. I mean, so not a lot of teams are going to win that. And they play, you know, the Leominsters, the Fitchburgs, a lot of big schools that they used to just keep up with in terms of enrollment, but not now. And over the ball for Hudson is Matt Ford. He rolls back the pass. He had the man open in the flat. The ball is up. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a pass interference on Ricky Singh-Cotta. Trying to get that to Ron Melvin. Didn't happen.
Looked like a good defensive play. Looked like Rick was going for the ball, but the referee's a lot closer than I am. But, you know, you're right talking about the Marlboro schedule. Marlboro definitely doesn't belong in Division I. They have to play the likes of North Middlesex, Fitchburg, Leominster. They just don't have the enrollment to compete with those guys. And I really don't think it's fair to the kids. When they play in their own class the last few years in the Dutch Hall, and their record is excellent. But there's just no way they're going to compete with those bigger schools.
And even Hudson's a victim of the declining enrollments. They're 2-7 this year. They beat Air and they beat Maynard also. One game that Herb Bush said he would have loved to have back was the game against Assabet. And the handoff, nothing doing, a gang tackle right there.
A little quick trap in the middle that time, but J.J. Donahoe reading that guard very nicely, filling that hole.
Greg Wardwell on that one for Hudson. And actually, looking down the sidelines, Podlesny is out taking some hot laps, trying to get himself back into it. Maybe got a little bit of a tape and some cuts on the sideline. Hudson now has a second 9 right at the Marlboro midfield, or at their midfield, depending upon how you look at it. And in motion is Kroll. And there's Roan, met head-on by Donahue once again.
That time, J.J. came on a stunt. Play kind of went by him, still got back into the play. Old Scotty Giroux, number 72, a nice job from Marlboro that time, taking on the block.
Yeah, Giroux doesn't get too much attention because you got Jason Sullivan on the other side. He's a pretty solid ball player, I'll tell you what.
Scotty's been, as you say, a very solid ball player. Goes out week in, week out, gets the job done, doesn't make many mistakes.
And this is another one we can categorize as a big play for Hudson. They got the 3rd and 6 at the Marlboro 46-yard line. And they're going to try to hit Tyrone and nothing doing. That was number 88 for Marlboro.
Derek Reed that time, a nice play from that defensive end position, a linebacker, I guess they call it in this set. Great job.
It's going to be interesting to see what this flag brings.
The defensive left side for Marlboro has been lining up very close to the neutral zone. Might have got caught in at that time.
Offsetting personal fouls, and then it'll bring up 4th down. I didn't see anything dirty over there, did you?
I think the referee is just probably trying to take charge of the game, say, hey fellas, let's play football. We don't need that extracurricular activity. 4th down, Hudson going for it. I really don't think they have much choice. Yeah. They have to get every down in that they possibly can.
And once again, that's Kroll in motion. He's going to try a quick pitch over to Roan. He gets around the corner. And finally brought down over there by Steve Murtoff. And Derek Reed again in on the tackle. And Marlboro's going to take over on downs.
Jeff Cotton, a nice job that time. He's a defensive end on that side. Really straightened up that play, took on the blocker, allowed those other fellas to come in. Great job by Jeff.
Okay, we're going to have a little bit of a different look in the backfield as Podlesny makes his return, along with Gilliott and Rake. No, we're not, actually. First and 10 from the 44. You got about 8 minutes and 43 seconds left in the first half here. The Panthers up 20-0. Just a straight dive up the middle. TJ Rake jams it right at the gut. The tackle Brian Braga stops him.
Quick hitter that time by Marlboro, Stevie Catone. Great job off the ball that time, block. Benny Catone, I want to call him by his father's name. Benny did a great job, named after his grandfather. Benny's been a a real productive kid in terms of offensive line play for Marlboro. Been watching him play since he was a sophomore. Made leaps and bounds every year, turned into be a real good lineman.
Marlboro had to call a timeout. Something happened with the offensive lineman. Scott Giroux went out on the field, but was not supposed to be out on the field, so they had to spend a timeout on that one. It's funny, though. It's just the difference in tradition here. You're talking about Ben Catone's father, and here I am thinking the only one I know is Ben Catone. I haven't been around.
Yeah, Benny's he's a good football player. Real gentleman, too.
And Dutch Holland giving his team a chewing out that we can hear up on the up in the booth here. But they finally managed to get Giroux in there. It looks like he's playing the right guard position. Going to give J.J. Donahue a bit of a breather here. And he's just going to sweep right to Podlesny. And he's brought down by Ed Lee.
Hudson back in that even front again with the 4, and Marlboro going outside still with continued success, Glenn.
That brings up a 3rd down and 2. You get across the midfield once again. Podlesny comes out, and they're going to hand it off to Gilliott. Gets around the corner, one man to beat, and he's got down the sidelines all alone. Ooh, big hit. Oh, the ball's loose.
Giving it to Marlboro. Ball must have went out of bounds over there. Saved big gain for Marlboro.
Greg Tatnall put a lick on him over there.
But as you called it against that 4, Marlboro having great success running outside.
First down, we got the 24, and now they're just going to bring it to the right with Gilliott. Gets around the corner once again, and down the sidelines, manages to get about 3 more yards on the carry before he finally gets knocked out of bounds by Mark D'Amelio.
Lance Podlesny doesn't look like that knee hurt him on that play.
Jeez, I guess.
Glenn made a nice run. Hudson that time in almost what we used to call a 61. They call it a 4-3, but it's just a different look on the 4. Hudson trying all different looks defensively, see if they can control the Panthers, but not having much luck.
And Marlboro came out in something a little bit different. Hudson didn't like it, had to call the timeout on that one.
Well, Marlboro certainly has Hudson confused. I mean, there's no question. The start they got in this game, the kids are fired up. Herb and Mike Nanadowicz, the defensive coordinator, Hudson, giving Marlboro different looks, hoping to plug that dam, but nothing stopping Marlboro today.
And Nanadowicz said when I was talking to him, one of the things that they like to do with the safeties is try to rotate, or the corners rather, is rotate one, send them on a blitz, and if the pass coverage comes, the strong side guy pulls back and goes into coverage. It's pretty complex stuff.
Well, it's what they call a roll-up, is what it is. You roll up on one side and then bring everybody into it. Sometimes you can roll somebody right into the right coverage and pick one off. But they're sending people. He's brought the corners, he's brought the inside people. They're playing some games up front, but Marlboro's seems to be, not seems to be, but they're handling everything Hudson throws at them.
And now with a 1st down and 10 on the 11. Actually, this kind of works to a team's disadvantage because they have to get a touchdown, really. If they go 10 yards, it's pretty much going to be, and Gilliott right up the gut. And are they going to give it to him? No, they're not. They're going to probably have his knee down.
That's Lance Podlesny again, and boy, is he running hard this morning.
So much for all that talking about having to go 10 yards to get the 1st down. One play, and that was pretty much all they needed.
You have to credit the Marlboro coaching staff. Every time Hudson makes a defensive move, Marlboro counters. That time with a nice quick trap into that vacant spot on the 40.
I believe Hudson's used up all their timeouts for the half.
Never even really thought about it.
And Hudson spends another timeout. I think they've used up their amount for the half on that one.
But if the ball breaks the plane, I mean, it's a touchdown. I thought that was a good call.
That's what I thought. If the ball goes across the plane, it should be a TD. Yeah,
And having a little bit of an argument up here with Bob Pryor. Not an argument, rather. We're trying to figure out whether or not that last run by Podlesny was a touchdown. And they think that it's either the ball didn't break the plane or the ball did break the plane of the end zone, and whether or not his knee was down before that happened.
Yeah, it looked like a good call from here. It looked like he was down and the ball wasn't across the end zone. So the way Marlboro's moving off the ball, I don't think it's going to make a heck of a lot of difference, Glenn.
And now they're going to get 4 cracks at it, and the ball is actually about on the 1 foot line right now. And you get a good look at Sincata under center. And another motion penalty. That one's going to be on Hudson. I think they got a little bit anxious on that.
Well, it's either encroachment or illegal procedure on Marlboro. Hudson says it's against Marlboro, but no, it's offside Hudson.
And that's half the distance to the goal line, which will be about 6 inches. Boy, that Tim Biddy, I just saw him coming out over center. He reminds me of Tim Goad. He's got the Tim Goad build to him. And the keeper for Sincata, does he get in? We can't really tell. Oh, the ball was loose.
I think the whistle had blown.
Ah, they did. And down at the bottom of the pile for Hudson.
Marlboro on a quick count that time, but Hudson right on that play. Good effort that time by the nose tackler of Hudson, number 50.
Derek Katzenbone. He's a big son of a gun, 6'2", 290. And they're going to get another crack at it. Oh, he's off. Greg Wardwell was right up over center. He's going to, looks like he was going on that one. He kind of tried to time the count, got a little bit carried away, and put a pop on.
That's exactly right. He was working on the count, and Rick Sincata didn't go on the same cadence and caught him.
It's a smart quarterback's play right there. They're going to go up the gut, and that's a touchdown for Podlesny. It's his 3rd touchdown. Right at this point in time, we're going to give him the MVP of the game.
It's going to be tough to stop him from being the MVP, that's for sure. Having a great game.
Okay, so just under 6 minutes left. Marlboro goes up 26-0. And on for the extra point. We tried every pretty much trick play that they have for extra points, except for maybe the Statue of Liberty or the swinging gate. I don't know.
Well, actually, the first one was a takeoff on it with a little wing back coming all the way around for that reverse. But you got to credit that Marlboro offensive line up to this point. Done a great job with every front the Hudson Hawks have thrown at them.
And the extra point attempt, the fake, they're going to do it again. Oh, and Rake is wide open in the end zone. That was Gilead. They just ran it to, check that. That was Podlesny throwing it to Rake, and they just ran it to the other side.
Well executed that play with a pass on the end of it that time to T.J. Rake. Marlboro getting that 2-point conversion, 28-0. No stopping the Panthers this morning. It looks like just how big they want to make it.
And I think that we're going to start seeing a lot of subs coming in from Marlboro. Have everybody get a chance to play on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, you won't see a lot of subs because there's really not a lot of subs on there. Marlboro's squad, low in numbers, as is Hudson. But I'm sure the bench will be cleared today. Well,
which is a nice thing. Getting in the Thanksgiving Day game. Definitely something that you like to brag about, and turkey tastes a little bit better when you win.
Certainly does, and it's been a long time since Marlboro's blown Hudson out. I know we had a blowout here a few years ago, actually might have been in Hudson, in Carlos Crocker's junior year, year before the Mud Bowl when they blew Marlboro away. It's been a while since Marlboro's put up this point total against Hudson.
And I'll tell you what, next year, I was talking to Herb Bush before the game, there's another Grassa brother coming, Carlos's younger brother. He says he's more athletic and faster and has a better arm. So that could wreak some havoc.
Well, that's bad news for Marlboro.
In the kickoff, a short squib kick, and Matt Ford took that one right in the chest like a good shortstop and rumbled about 10 yards. hits it right to midfield.
But you know, Hudson, year in and year out, they come up with the good athletes. Had some great athletes on Thanksgiving morning, as well as Marlboro.
It's got to be tough, you know. You always kind of have to pull for the underdog teams in a situation like this. They're just out there trying their best with what they got, and hey.
Well, you pull for the underdog. I'm pulling for Marlboro.
Oh, I'm pulling for Marlboro too, but you always have a little spot for the underdog. And actually, Joe Beveridge is back in at quarterback, and it is picked up by another quarterback. Rick Sinclair in the secondary goes right up the middle with the 20-yard return, and finally gets brought down over there by Jason Gould and Ed Lee.
The old tip drill that time, tipped right into Rick's hand. Rick, you know, another kid from Marlboro with an outstanding career, played some defensive back as a sophomore, made the starting role as quarterback his junior year, back again his senior year. Had a great career here for Marlboro High.
Actually, he's this season, like I had said, coming out of the wishbone, he's been 13 from 42, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for 141 yards total on the season. But the rushing, he's picked up 169 yards in the rush with 4 touchdowns. So the kid, you know, he's a little bit of a stumble by Moulton, and that's going to cost him right there as Sincata gets piled up.
Actually, that's T.J. Rake. Marlboro's made a quarterback change. T.J. in a quarterback now. T.J. will probably take over the reins of quarterback next year.
Okay, and they're going to be, they're starting to roll in. David Fagone comes in as one of the ends at number 80.
But this young man, TJ, son of Tom Rake, former Framingham State coach, this kid is a heck of a football player, great athlete.
And he's a junior this year, so he's going to get another year, get a little bit of seasoning in him. And they're sending Donahue in motion. And there's Moulton gets around the corner.
Great pay that time by Jay Rohn coming up from that linebacker spot, shut down that sweep.
I was just going to say, because if he didn't, Ben Katona got out around the corner, and
Benny out front knocking people down like he's been doing all day.
Put a big stick on Mark DeMille. He would have been gone if. But Rohn, they say he's probably instinctively one of the best football players. Just gets to the ball, gets off the blocker, gets there.
Oh, he's a great athlete.
Puts a hurt down.
Tough runner, good linebacker.
Okay, a little bit of confusion as he split out now as Mike Sincata. He sees some time at defensive back. They're going to do a quick kick. Quick kick, a great play, a great bounce, and it will actually not so great of a bounce. Couldn't make it die.
That's a 50-yard kick for TJ. Seen some great punting here today. The Hudson punter had a 55-yarder here earlier. Of course, both with the wind. Show you how strong that wind is today.
Not really, and with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left, the Hudson Hawks are going to take over on their own 20 after a quick kick kind of caught us by surprise there. That's why they call it the quick kick. And 28-0, the Marlboro Panthers lead. You're an old Marlboro Panther yourself, aren't you? You must have some pretty good memories of playing here on Thanksgiving Day.
Mostly bad ones.
Okay, and in motion, they sort of ran that fake reverse too, and that's Kroll. Ooh, that could have been, they called Catone with the late hit on that.
Yeah, a little over-aggressive that time.
That was a fair call.
The juice is flowing and jumps in and makes that hit a little late.
Okay. That's a 15-yarder, dead ball, personal foul. And we'll pick up the first down. And the clock starts ticking away.
Hudson with another quarterback again. Joe Beveridge back at quarterback. Looks like he's rotating those quarterbacks today, Glenn.
And he hands off to David Ingersoll. Ingersoll got tied up, managed to break free.